Hey church family and fellow missionaries out there, this is Trevor Owen with another little Mission Minute devotional thought for you today. And, well, it's day 3 of the social isolation where we get to care for the weak and vulnerable among us. And a lot's changed to get us here. Which is kind of why I wanted to talk to you today about culture shock. Bear with me. I've traveled quite a bit, as you can tell by paintings and the little things around me. And I've taken teams all over the world. And something that I try and explain to them ahead of time is that on this trip, you will experience culture shock. Now, what culture shock is it's when the norms and the ways we order our lives get, well, out of sync. Who you can talk to and how you talk to them. Where you can go. How do you get food? How do you bathe and clean yourself? How do you interact? What are the things that are okay to do and not do? Get stirred up. And the reason I want to talk about that today is because collectively as a culture, we are experiencing culture shock. I mean, the norms of how we do our daily lives right now are really up in the air. The people that we used to spend time with, we don't get to see, and who do you touch and how do you touch them, and how can you communicate, and how do you interact, and how do you do church, and where do you work, and there's people we're spending a lot of time with that we don't normally spend that much time with, and a lot of the ways that we distracted ourselves from those people and the tensions that created has been taken away, and just in general, we're experiencing this sense of the norms are shaken. Now, when that happens for people on a trip, their reactions vary, but basically what happens is you start to emotionally flood, and you pull out of your cognitive, just thinking through, being clear and intentional about what you do, and you start reacting more emotionally. Now, for some people, that looks like, a manic desire to take control and fix things and hold on to stuff and order everything and make it right. Or other people, they withdraw and they get quiet and they don't want to be invaded upon. And other people, get just grumpy and irritable and just snappy at everybody. There's a variety of different ways that we react emotionally. I think there's a lot of that going on in our culture. I mean, you watch the news and, people are definitely collectively in culture shock and reacting in those various ways. I'm not going to engage or everything's bad, or I'm going to fix everything and fight everything I disagree with. But we also do that in our homes and around us. Can I encourage you? Give each other a lot of grace. People are reacting right now out of an emotionally flooded state. They're interacting with each other out of that. And they may look the same on the outside, but internally their processes are very, very different. So give each other grace and give yourself grace. Give yourself space. One of the best ways that I tell people to kind of help pull themselves out of that disquiet is to get curious. You see, when you're emotionally flooded, you're processing in that space. If you get curious and start asking questions, it pulls you back up into the more cognitive reasoning. If you find yourself just manically cleaning and trying to order your world around you, or grumpy and just snappy at everybody, or just wanting to disengage and find your own space, first of all, just ask yourself, why? What am I really upset about? Am I really that mad at the way that person's chewing in this moment? Or is there other things that I'm worried about? And then get curious about that. Look into that. I think that's part of what was going on in the Psalms when David said, "Search me and know my anxious thoughts." It's taking what's going on inside of us and getting curious and bringing it to God. Do that. And then give yourself grace. Give others grace. Because there's a lot in flux right now. We'll get through it. And the cool thing about the culture shock is it really does open up opportunities for us to examine ourselves and our norms, to let God speak into it. Good will come of this, absolutely. just hold on, give yourself space, and give others grace. I look forward to seeing you in person whenever I can. Between now and then, stay on mission.